Thank you for joining us again for Let the Bible Speak. Today, I want to talk to you about what we might call eye diseases. In Matthew, the sixth chapter, verses 22 and 23, Matthew 6:22 and 23, Jesus says, "The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is good, the whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, the whole body will be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness?" When we read this text, I actually get a little bit of a chill on the latter portion as he talks about how great that darkness is. And it has everything to do with the eye. And it seems here that he's talking about the things that we see, the things that we use to look at it for, the things that's sort of driving and motivating sort of our desire to see certain things. And one of the things he says, if it's good, then the body's full of light. It means you're looking at the right things for the right reason. But if it's bad, then the whole body will be full of darkness. And so we ask the question, what makes for a bad eye? I'll be using a number of passages, but all of these passages will be in the description section of this video, and so you certainly can go back and look at it. And in Proverbs 21 and verse 4, the proverb writer talks about a haughty look. And that seems to make a bad eye. Someone who looks with pride, and sort of elevating themselves, but looking down, as it were, on others. And then in 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16, this is a passage somewhat familiar, where it talks about that all that's in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, it talks about, as well as the pride of life, but it's the lust of the eyes we want to highlight, this eye that desire to look at things that it should not. One example might be looking at a neighbor's wife or a neighbor's husband with intent. In 2 Peter 2, verse 14, Peter talked about some who having eyes, he says, full of adultery, that they cannot cease from sin. We live in a time where folks are looking to sin, and they're looking to lust after folks, and they should not. Those are bad eyes. And remember, if I'm a person that's guilty of this, consider how dark the darkness is. And then in Acts chapter 28 and verse 27, you have Peter telling a group of people, and he's actually quoting from Isaiah the prophet, and in quoting them, he talks about these people who, it says, "For the hearts of this people have grown dull, their ears are hard of hearing, their eyes they have closed." And I like to suggest this is probably one of the worst eye disease a person can have. Willfully closing your eyes so that you don't see the truth. Willfully closing your eyes so that you don't understand the thing that's obvious and clear. It says their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears. And the Bible sort of talks about this in a different way, or at least Jesus does in Matthew 15 and verse 14. Matthew 15:14, he says, "Let them alone." Talking about these religious leaders of the day, the Pharisees. He says they are blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind leads the blind, or both have fallen into a ditch. This is just a sampling of the types of eye diseases that the Bible talks about. A person has to examine themselves to see whether I have or possess some of these. Do I have, eye disease that needs attention? Join us again tomorrow as we once again look at some other sort of diseases that may plague people spiritually, and that maybe we can examine ourselves and see where there's opportunity to change. If you'd like to study these things further, please give us a call. That number is 843-553-5157, 843-553-5157. And remember the words of Jesus in Matthew 6, specifically verse 23. "But if your eye is bad," he says, "your whole body will be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness?" We'll see you next time.